Hey guys, it's your girl Taylor, professional caricature artist and lover of theater. I've decided to try something a little different, so I sat down with a few performing artists and had conversations about their shows and projects. This is Drawing Conclusions. I went to Long Beach Playhouse to sit down and chat with the cast of Flight, playing from May 19th to June 16th on the Mainstage. Today, I'm talking to
I'm Denzel Roseboro, and I will be one of the dancers, also known as the spirits, for this production of Flight.
Awesome. When did you start doing theater?
I've done theater since sophomore year of high school, but growing up, I've been doing, you know, productions of, church programs, Christmas and Easter and stuff like that. But when I first got into theater was during my sophomore year when we did a play called The Nail Shop. Um, and it was my first time being on stage and doing an actual character and like learning lines and going through the motion with the whole cast together
Yeah.
and one director. Um, and it was pretty exciting. It was fun. I was nervous. I was shaking
Yeah.
right before I even went on stage. I knew what I had to do, but it's just the moment I stepped out and like the whole audience was just in darkness and the lights were shining on my face. I just went for it.
Do you prefer to act, or do you consider yourself more of a dancer?
Primarily acting.
Primarily acting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do mostly theater. Um, I'm trying to get into film at some point, but
Very cool.
theater is where my heart is right now.
You don't actually speak, do you? No. Okay. How's that?
It's fun.
Yeah.
But with me concentrating on dancing, it's been experience just to be able to get the choreography down and focus on one thing where we enter, where we exit, just being able to understand movement a lot better.
Yeah.
And so, me taking on this different role as opposed to acting, my focus has shifted. So, yeah. So it's been a learning experience. I'm not gonna lie. It's like some of it might be a little bit strenuous, but you know, I'm happy with what I'm doing.
When did you start dancing?
Uh, I started learning how to dance senior year.
Okay. Around the
that-
same time you got into.
Yeah, well, acting was sophomore year.
Okay.
Senior year, I went to a conservatory, um, and we had learned acting, dance, and music. And this is my first time ever doing a dance class.
Yeah.
And so, kids, they already took ballet or jazz and stuff and learning how to do pirouettes and plies and whatnot. And I don't know what any of these words mean. And so I'm just doing my best.
Yeah, dancing was never my strong suit. I always figured as long as I can move well, and then I couldn't really do that either. How has this experience been? Amazing.
Amazing. Like just meeting all these different people that work in theater or in television film. It's just been such a learning experience just from each individual person. Um, when it comes to seeing people perform every night and to seeing how we all come together, I really appreciate it just as a whole. In terms of dancing wise, I have learned a lot about myself in terms of how I move. I have I've grown as a dancer, I would say,
Yeah.
and I've gotten some good feedback. And yeah, hopefully when we open, we're going to put on a great show.
You have a female counterpart in the show.
Yes,
Ebony.
Ebony Lene. Yeah.
Ebony Lene. How is it working with her? You guys kind of do a lot of the same movements.
Oh yeah, she's dope.
Yeah. What do you hope that people take away from this show?
I hope people take away the way that Charlayne Woodard has written this story and the art of storytelling. Each character has their own story to tell and how it relates to who they are and what they're going through at that specific moment. And some people might see there as a parallel to how one story reacts to who they are or what their relationship is to another character or even to to you know, somebody who might not be on stage. But even when it comes to dancing, the dancing gives a physicality to it. It gives pictures.
Yeah.
It gives the emotion of how people are communicating with each other. Because that's what dance is. That's what art is communication.
Do you have a favorite kind of dance that you like to do, or is it just kind of across the board, whatever you can learn and pick up? And
Yeah, I'll just go with the flow.
with the flow.
I learn what I pick up, and you know, and I'll learn to love it, because every dance has its own story to tell, and there's certain things about certain dances that, like, you know, you get a feeling from just by doing it. For this show, we do capoeira dance, we do square dancing, but it's just that moment of what type of story we're trying to tell.
Right.
Whether it's something that's, you know, invoking the spirit within us, to to set people in a trance, or to, you know, tell a love story, and how two people grew to come together in this situation.
I think in this production in particular, like, there is an emphasis on storytelling and passing those stories down and sharing them with everybody. And I think the dancers they're so crucial to the show in that way, because that's another form of storytelling. We get to see it. You guys, you don't play just one role. We were talking about this earlier. It's like sometimes you appear as a memory. Sometimes it's like more of a feeling. What's been your favorite part about performing this piece?
I would say that my favorite moments overall would be the square dance. It's so subtle in what we do, but it's just how we portray the characters, you know, being that memory.
Right. Could
And
you remind me what that moment is in the show?
they're telling the story about how they're jumping over the broom backwards, and so you know, Sally does things that Nate can't do, and they're very accepting of each other for who they are, and you know, and even when one falls and one stands proud and picks the other one up, they come together and they dance.
What do you think is your greatest takeaway from the show?
You know, even though there are obstacles in our path that may put us down, that may try and, you know, make us feel inferior, that you always have to see the through line of what is your end game things. And I feel like Nate portrays that a lot, where, you know, even though he's battling with the idea that his wife just got sold, he still has to figure out what comes after this. What is his future for him and his son? And you know, even though there are things that may stand in his path, he has to make the executive decision to do what's best and do what is right, not just for his son, but for himself.
Right.
And that's something I feel that a lot of people can resonate with.
Have you done a straight play before?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
May I ask, what was the play?
I've done a few. The last one I did was 12 Angry Jurors.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not as familiar with plays as I am with musical theater, and it's been a while since I've seen just a straight play, but because Flight is not a musical, but it does have a lot of music in it. But it sounds like you've had experience with that before. Do you have a preference? Do you like doing musicals, or?
Well, I do enjoy the spectacle of what musicals have to offer. But when it comes to straight plays, you know, it's just the writing. There's so many nuances of the characters, and, you know, the demands for sets, and what the director has in mind for a certain part. There's so much that can be packed into it based on the writing alone.
Right.
And that's what I enjoy. I enjoy good writing. I enjoy good character development. But even so, musicals can still do that. It's just what you have to put in to certain parts, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing,
Right.
or whether it's specific parts of the acting. But yeah, I enjoy both.
So I'm gonna go ahead and show this to you.
All right. Yes, you use purple too. I love it.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thank you very much. This has been Drawing Conclusions. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have you drawn your own conclusions? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget, get out there and draw something. See you next time.